Welcome to Entre Amigos, another edition. We're in season 2. We're very happy that you guys are following our show and our program. And I'm here with Laura. Hi, Laura. Hi, how are you?
I'm so happy. This has been like the best project ever. I'm so happy to see you, Ivan. We've been talking through like all of the seasons. We've had winter, we've had COVID, post-COVID, now it's summer, Halloween is coming. I mean, I love seeing you every time.
Agree. So Laura, today we have, like always, a very special guest. And this special guest, we've been after him for a long time now.
Yes.
And finally we have him. He is a legend in school, and we're so happy to have him. So please give him a welcome, Laura.
Mr. Bouchard, welcome to Entre Amigos. You have no idea how happy we are to have you here. Finally, we get the chance to speak to you, to connect. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you and where are you right now?
Right now, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be able to converse with Laura and with Ivan. Okay, and I will try to answer all your questions. Okay, and right now I'm in my home in Cali.
You're definitely Colombian.
I live in Ponce.
Oh, how good.
Did you move? I thought you were like near Carretera del Mar. I don't know why.
No. I never lived in Carretera del Mar. I lived, in Pampa Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that time.
About 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I moved here to Ponce in a house that I built according to what I like.
That's good. And what do you like? Flowers?
That's the best.
Well,
flowers,
a part where I can grow orchids. Okay, that's one of my hobbies. And the other one is just to do a little bit of gardening.
That's cool. Do you have a way to put your phone like in a stable place? Or your hand?
It doesn't move, maybe.
You have it in your hand, right?
Just a second.
I'm gonna pause the video for a minute and we'll be back until we figure this out. And we are back again.
That was fast. So Mr. Bouchard, so how did you end up living in Cali and never moving out of Cali? Because you're American, right?
That's right. I am American. It's a fairly long story.
We have time.
When I graduated from the University of Vermont, in 1965, there was a campaign among the graduating class of people that wanted to join the Peace Corps. Mm-hmm. And I applied to the Peace Corps and I was accepted. I was accepted into a program where they would teach physics teachers how to teach physics using laboratory equipment that was not very expensive. And that was aimed at Colombia. At that time, the Peace Corps had a lot of members here in Colombia. I was stationed in Bogota and I taught at the University Javeriana. Mm-hmm. In that time, I met my wife, we got married, we moved back to the States, but she didn't adapt very well to the States. And so I thought that I could adapt much easier to the Colombian culture than she could to the US culture. So we moved back to the Colombia in 1974.
Back to Bogota or directly to Cali?
Bogota. Mm-hmm. I started looking for jobs. And in the meantime, I was teaching English. I started working at the Center of Investigation of the National Coffee Growers in Bogota, but I always wanted to work at a university level. So they told me to give my resume. I made up a resume. The director sent it out to various universities. They called me from the University del Valle. I came, gave a seminar, and was hired almost on the spot. And that's how I ended up in Cali. How did I end up at Colegio Bolivar? Where I lived in Pampalinda, there was a teacher of theater. His name was Wiley Rinaldi.
Mr. Rinaldi, yeah.
Yes. We became very good friends because we lived fairly close together. And he said that there was an opening for a physics teacher, okay, in the Colegio Bolivar. I went, had an interview with Dr. Felton. He liked my resume. He liked my teaching credentials. And so he offered me a job at Colegio Bolivar. And that was in 1984. I started teaching in August of 1984.
So, but that time, 1974 and when in the 70s, did you speak Spanish? Hola.
Hi,
Hi,
This is a nice surprise.
good to see you.
I'm gonna leave you guys with my beautiful papa again, but hugs and kisses to everyone.
No, corazón,
Besito,
you're
thank
invited-
you.
You're invited to stay also. We would love to hear from you too. So,
Absolutely. Pretty soon. Love to see you guys.
Gracias.
love.
besos.
Ciao.
Okay, besito.
So did you speak Spanish at that time, or you learned Spanish after that, or how was the
Teaching at the University del Valle, okay, obviously I had to teach in Spanish. And okay, I think I still speak Spanish with a strong accent. Okay, but I think that my grammar and my construction is fairly good in Spanish.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. I had
So-
no idea about how good he was in Spanish. I mean, teaching physics in Spanish, if it's tough for me in English, imagine in Spanish that you have to switch your brain from one language to the other.
Laura, what was your grade in physics with Mr.
Terrible, terrible. Mr. Bouchard, I've been telling everybody through the whole course of Entre Amigos that I think I graduated just because I was a great person and I was friendly with everybody, but I really didn't consider myself a good student, like in math or in like very intelligent stuff. I was very into people person. I love to talk and I was super extroverted, but I wasn't that good in physics, unfortunately.
Yvonne was pretty
Were you good?
Well, Mr. Burchard was saying something there.
What were you saying? Was I not that bad?
No, I don't think so. But Yvonne was pretty good in physics.
Yeah, that's true. I used to love physics. I still love it. I don't know why, but I love math. I love chemistry, especially organic chemistry, and I love physics. So I don't know. I'm one of those weird people because I was not like the nerd that loves it or anything like that, but I was good at those things. So yeah, I enjoyed. And when you have a good teacher, it makes it easier. So
I remember your sister also.
yeah, my sister Diana Pelaez. Yeah, she was in your class too. So well, she graduated with one of your kids, right? With Carolyn.
Right.
So when did your kids join Colegio Bolivar? When you joined Colegio Bolivar, or they were in Colegio Bolivar before you joined?
Two of my kids okay, entered Colegio Bolivar when I started teaching in 1984. The two people that entered were Carolyn and Heidi. Heidi was in, I think, something like the 4th grade. And I think that Carolyn was a junior. A year later, my other two kids, okay, entered Colegio Bolivar. They were Jennifer and Andrew. Andrew entered into the graduating class of 1986, okay, and Jennifer entered into the class of 1988.
That's
And-
a lot of children in Colegio Bolivar. I imagine, I mean, having them around, seeing their dad as a teacher. By then, obviously, physics was a high school, right? Not middle school.
That's right.
So
High school.
did you end up teaching them at some point in their lives?
All
Like
of
in
them.
school? All of them?
I ended up teaching all of them.
And how was
At
that
one-
experience?
At one time, the whole family was working at Colegio Bolivar or studying.
Can I say
My
something
wife, my 4 kids, and I.
Can I say something funny?
Of
Yes,
course.
please.
So when I was in 11th and my dad taught physics in 11th and 12th to me. And when I first entered his class, I used to lollygag in the hallways, in the lockers. And I heard the last bell and it was right in front up from my dad's room and I went bolting. He slammed the door in my face and I had to take the whole class sitting from outside. I was raising my hand to answer the questions. He would ignore me totally.
So no preferences, we could see. There was no preferences for anyone from the Bouchard family.
Bouchard, and at home he was daddy. And I knew exactly where he kept the most horrible, difficult tests. And they were on top of the fridge, always in the kitchen dining room. And could you guys believe that I ever dared to even peek at the tests?
No,
Never.
but like
Terrified of him as a teacher.
well, your dad was very cuchilla, so yeah, I wouldn't do that. It was
Oh,
a
it's really good to that. Yes.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's so funny.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
it's good. It's good. We
Keep
like
on
this
jumping in
story.
and out. We love these stories.
So, Mr. Bouchard, were you tough, like a tough teacher, or you were like did you consider yourself being tough as a teacher?
Oh. Well, I think that physics is a tough subject for somebody, especially the way that I taught it with lots of math.
And in a foreign language.
And so I think that the combination of those two things, okay, made it difficult for quite a few people. I tried to ease up a little bit, let's put it that way, okay, on these types of people that had difficulty with math, especially.
It was a class in English. No, you didn't teach that class in Spanish. It was always in English that I remember.
Always in English.
Yeah,
There was
yeah. I remember.
There was only one class I think that I taught in Spanish, and that was a chemistry class that I taught during 1 year.
I don't,
So-
I think I'm under the impression I had chemistry with you too. I remember Mr. Martin for physics because he failed me in 12th grade. And we were on our way to Santo Domingo for our graduation. And he's like, you know, Laura, you failed physics. So I guess you're going to have to study during the trip. And I'm like, don't worry, Mr. Martin, I'm going to take the book. And I remember I took the book to Santo Domingo. The book actually had more fun than I did. I never opened the book. I opened the book on my way back on the plane. I was super sleepy. I was able to, take the test. Mr. Martin was able to help me, and I'm sure I didn't do good. I think he was nice enough because he knew I made the effort of traveling with the book and pretending I was going to study. But I think I had you also for chemistry now that I think about it. Maybe that year also,
Well,
the year you mentioned.
Well, let's
Could be.
note that Laura doesn't remember that good the past, so
Yeah.
she's not sure. Mr. Burchard, you were in an institution at school. How many years were you vinculated to the school, involved in school?
I taught for 33 years
Wow.
at school.
There's very
I
few people
began,
that have taught such a long time, right?
Excuse me?
That there's very few people that have been involved in school for such a long time.
That's true. That's true. Okay, especially, okay, in the teaching position.
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I remember, for example, Mr. Pohio,
Mhm.
he was at school for 40 years, but I
Yeah,
think that
Longest
in,
one.
And he retired, I think, 20 years ago,
yeah,
something like
And
that. When did you retire?
the last 10 years, he was in an administrative position.
Mhm. Now, when did you leave Colegio Bolivar? In what year?
2017,
That was
Wow.
like literally just around the corner.
Yes.
that's right, just a little while ago.
Uh-huh. And you still kept just on physics, no more chemistry.
No, I was teaching chemistry also.
Mm-hmm.
I taught AP chemistry
Mm-hmm.
and I taught chemistry 3.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We didn't know that existed, the chemistry 1, 2, or 3.
Well, chemistry 3 was basically organic chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I like.
That was offered as an elective a long time after you people graduated.
Mm-hmm. I was
Okay,
class
you
of
people-
1995, so that was a long time ago. Ivancho was class of 1993, I believe.
Yeah. They began introducing electives, okay, especially during the junior and senior year.
Mhm.
I think it was around 2003, 2004. They began with AP courses,
Mhm.
offered the newspaper as also an elective. And well, I think they ended up with almost 20 different electives. Okay, the year that I retired.
Mhm.
Wow, it changed a lot. So what do you remember or what do you miss the most from school now that you are retired?
Would you please repeat the question?
Yeah. So what do you miss the most from the time at school now that you're retired?
What I miss the most is being around people. Okay, I really do. Okay, and especially being around young people is invigorating.
Mhm.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
They keep you on your toes, they keep you thinking, they come up with new ideas. Okay, and okay, I always like that. Okay. There were many things that I had never thought about, that and students would come up with questions and I'd have to think about it a minute before I would be able to give them an answer.
Mhm. Now, Mr. Bouchard, obviously you come from, the United States. You mentioned you grew up living here. were you already like adapted to the Colombian way of life, the Cali way of life, you know, the rhythm, the food, everything that moves like at a certain different rhythm that over here?
Not really, not really. I think I had more of a work ethic
Mm-hmm.
than being in the rhythm of, let's say, a lot of parties or going out and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would arrive at school at 7 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the different jobs that I held, many times I didn't get home until around 9:30 at night.
Wow.
Wow. Well, the good thing is that you were able to see all your family because you mentioned it before, but Fanny was a staff member and she used to work for Mr. Felton, right?
Yeah. She worked in the
Torloni.
school
Yeah,
Mhm.
for Mr. Torloni. Yeah, sorry.
for Mr. Soloni.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then your other kids were at school at one point, so you were lucky to see your family during the day, basically.
Exactly, even if those were long hours. Now, but back from the days, you know, at school, obviously, I mean, you were teaching, you had like multiple things happening. Were you the type of teacher that got involved in sports day, in the events, you know, bake sales, or all of these other extracurricular things that were happening in the school?
I got involved with Sports Day, okay, just about every year. Okay. But the only extracurricular activity that I really got involved in was in the lighting in one of the plays that were put on. Okay.
Which play?
Oh,
Was it The Sound of Music by any chance or something like that? Because I don't know why I recall, you know, Ivan, I never remember anything, but I kind of think about Mr. Bouchard having something to do with one of the plays I was, maybe.
right now I don't remember. I remember I worked with Mr. Turnbull.
Mr. Turnbull, I remember Mr. Turnbull.
I remember him. It's funny
Right.
because for Laura, it can be anybody that was involved with those things. But Mr. Bouchard, but hold on, there's something that we were not at school, but you got involved and you became Santa Claus every single Christmas, and you're very
He
famous
still
for that.
is Santa Claus, Ivan.
Yeah.
That began, I think it was somewhere around 1999. Okay, and it was sponsored by the 11th graders.
Mhm.
Okay, they proposed to me that I be Santa's to raise money, okay, for their excursion.
Oh wow, they used you.
Fine. Okay, and the whole legend of Santa at Colegio Bolivar began, okay, by them offering me, okay, to be Santa.
Well,
I
there
never
you go.
had that
That was
idea.
a side job that we had no idea happened. That could be definitely part of your retirement. You could be Santa forever. So cute.
Let's see. I think it was in the last time that I was Santa was 2018, because 2019 I was in the hospital. Okay, and I was there because I had to have a stent put in. Okay, and Mr. Waliszewski took my place. Since then, there have been no Dia de las Velitas.
Wow.
Yeah, because then the next year we had the basically the pandemic, which it didn't exist, and now this year, you know, it hasn't happened yet. So
I haven't heard anything if there is going to be or not going to be un Dia de las Velitas.
Now, Mr. Bouchard, you mentioned you left school recently, like a couple of years ago. do you keep in contact with everybody at the school? Do you go back now and then, check up on, you know, staff member, past students, or someone in particular?
Not really. I go back when I have something to do. For example, at El Nido,
Mhm.
okay, they have the little kids. Okay, they asked me to be Santa, and that is obviously during the day. And that's just about the only time that I would go back, okay, and visit, okay, people, especially in the science building.
Mhm.
But otherwise, no, I don't go back because my friends, for example, Manuelita,
Mhm.
okay, she retired, I think, a year or two before I retired. Okay. And so, okay,
Well,
really,
now we know that we have to grab you by the hand, and hopefully next time we're in Cali, we're dying to go to the school. We were talking with Ivan the other day that we definitely want to, you know, especially after this show came to life, we want to be able to, you know, be there in person and like kind of remember and live everything that we've been talking for the past year about, you know, school, classes, teachers, faculty, the rooms, the halls, everything. So you're more than welcome to join us if we decide to go anytime soon.
I would be very, very glad to accompany you and all of my ex-students there at Colegio Bolivar.
Do you belong to a chat that you have with, I don't know, with Manuelita, with other former teachers at school, or you guys have like a little group that you?
Not that I know, I'm not a member of one of those chats. Okay.
Well,
You're
you're lucky because they could drive you crazy.
And you're invited to join our chat. I don't know, Heidi can tell you about it, but our chat is sometimes nice. I mean, my class chat, sometimes it's nice, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, I want to turn it off. And I'm the manager of the chat, so for me, it's extra work.
Well, if you wanna, you can put me on the list.
I will. Everybody will be very happy. Last time that we tried to have an interview with you, but we couldn't do it. We had like special guests that were supposed to join in and say hi to you. But this time we don't have them. But I have to say that everybody from my class wanted to see you, wanted to say hello. They miss you. They love you. So, you know, you're a very important part of our class. And I know from other classes too. But, you know, also you are the dad of Heidi. So it's very special for us to have you as a teacher.
Oh, thank you very much, Yvonne. It was my pleasure to be able to be part of the community of Colegio Bolivar, okay, for such a long time. Students, okay, when I was still teaching there, former students came back and they would really, really make me feel good and saying that, okay, what I taught them in physics really helped them in their career.
It did to me. Like, I'm always thinking like, every time like I have a physics problem, I'm remembering your classes, and I try to, well, let me explain better. So I do CrossFit, so I try to be 100% efficient every single time, and I use physics in order to do CrossFit. If that sounds like something that it's logical, but it is. I use it every single day because you're supposed to be efficient with movements, and I use physics in order to be efficient, and I'm good at it. So
I do remember back, I watch Formula One, and I know that the cars have a banking angle, and I know that the banking angle was a term that I remember from the class, one of the few ones. So that's my 3 points on physics today.
I remember one of the guidance counselors at school. She was a guidance counselor for elementary school. And she accused me of being the cause that she lost her son to science.
Wow,
Well, yeah, well, that's a good one, no?
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Mr. Bouchard, Laura always has this little question that she likes to ask everybody, but
Yes.
I'm gonna ask for her. She's always curious to know, what do you miss from the cafeteria?
To tell you the truth, I almost always took my own lunch. Okay, I very seldom, ate at the cafeteria, only sporadically.
Mhm.
But
you have to remember the brownies or the
The
chocolate
chocolate
chip
cookie.
cookie or the Okucha's donuts.
those, I never bought any of those.
Really?
No,
Good for
No.
you.
I never did.
Well, I
Uh,
have to say, I probably bought one donut in my life there, and
Were
chocolate
they
chip
all just
cookie.
free or what? You never ate donuts? Ivancho?
Me? No,
Huh?
no,
Really?
no. It was not my thing. But Mr. Bouchard, so okay, you took your lunch. Did you take like a Colombian lunch or like an American lunch? What was your diet, or what's your diet right now? Are you totally Colombian in the way you eat, or because it's been so many
it's
years?
totally Colombian. Totally Colombian. I can have my frijoles. I can have my plátano, carne asada.
I love having you speak in Spanish. You have a great accent and pronunciation. I'm sure
Él habla como
everybody.
caleño.
Sí, habla súper bien, Mr. Bouchard.
Thank you very much. I never let my students know, that I understood absolutely everything they were saying in Spanish.
Well,
Ah,
I guess that was a good thing, but I kind of knew that you spoke Spanish. Like, come on. But I think the first time we heard you speak Spanish was a couple of months ago, Laura, at this show. Remember that Mr. Bouchard was invited to one of the shows. So it was like the first time that I heard him speak Spanish. So, but basically, this is the second time you've been in this show. The other time you were like special.
you're a
Yes.
VIP. Nobody besides Ivancho and myself have been twice.
Exactly.
Mr. Bouchard, and what's with you for this year? You planning to, spend the holidays in Cali? Do you travel back and forth to the States? Is there any family over here that you visit every now and then?
Let's see. The last time I was in the States, I think it was 2018. We were planning to go in 2019. But I had to have the operation where a stent was put into one of my arteries in my heart. And from then on, obviously, the frontiers have almost completely been closed. We hope to be able to go, this coming year. When we go, we visit Carolyn and Heidi, who are living in California.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, who is living in Texas. And then I go and visit my family that's living in Vermont.
In Vermont.
So we have to go, from east to west and north and south, completely, scattered all over the country.
So you grew up in Vermont, so that means that you were used to the snow and that type of winter weather. Do you miss it?
I can't say that I miss it. The cold weather and the snow, really gets to you. Living there for 6 months at a time in that cold weather. So I can't really say that I miss the snow. Okay, but what I do miss, okay, is the fall season in Vermont.
Mhm.
So
The
this
fall-
year, you know that I live in New York right now. Right now it's super hot. The sun is changing, so I couldn't do. I usually do the show outside, but it's impossible today with the light. And it's super warm today. Like I'm sweating, and it's what October? No, the end of October,
Okay.
and this fall is crazy. It feels like summer. Even the trees are still green. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, I'm
really,
happy.
really-
I'm happy because I'm 100% Caleño, and basically I saw the snow for the first time in my life when I was like 21, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
In
it could
New
be
York?
challenging.
Yes,
I live in
I-
Miami, so we're warm all the time. Winter for us is rain. It's like Cali. Winter means rainy day, and we don't really get cold. We get one now and then, maybe a cold front, which is great, like for a change. But besides that, yeah, we're super caleño. That's actually why I'm wearing my caleñísima t-shirt.
very good. Uh, who else have you interviewed?
Ooh, we have a
Well,
great list.
we have yeah, it's so right now, you know, this will air in like in few months. Right now I think like 15 or 16 shows have aired right now, and I think we have around 33 with this one, or 34, and our idea is to do at least 50, and at 50 that's it.
We've spoken to, that you remember, we've spoken to Manuelita, Mrs. Coele, Mr. Torlone, Mrs. Hernandez. We're speaking with Mr. Poggio very soon. Valesca Perlaza.
Doris Giraldo, Mr. Urazan.
Yeah, Mr. Pozo. We have been trying to hunt Mr. Martin, but he's very difficult. Rao is super difficult. So any connections that you may have, please throw in a good word.
Rao lives 2 houses away from me.
No.
Oh, wow.
If you see him, please tell him I'm in contact with his son. And I said, I would love to see Rao. We'll take just a couple of minutes. It's just a matter of, of saying hi and thanking you and thanking all of our amazing teachers for everything that they gave us during our time at school. So it would be great if you throw in a good word. I'm sure he's going to be happy, hopefully, to see our faces.
I see him, quite often.
That's good. That's good.
Oh.
This became like a job for us right now, because it takes a lot of effort to do this show, but we're happy to do it. There's pre-production, then there's the show, then there's editing, and there's a lot of calls and follow-up to do, but we're very happy. So, but before we finish, I have some other questions that we're interested. Like, who was your biggest headache at school? Did you have this special student that you were like, no, you don't have to say names, but did you have somebody who gave you a hard time?
Well, there is one girl that I remember that gave me lots of headaches. But that was after you people had graduated. I think it was around 2008 or 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Just one incident that comes to mind. I asked this person when she came into the room, to please be seated so that I could start my class. And she kept on talking and talking with a friend. So I went over to her and I grabbed her arm to be able to seat her down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I touched her,
Oh.
that blew up in my face, and I had to ask for a public apology.
Wow. So do you believe, because this is the following question, do you believe you were several generations at school? Do you believe everything changed? Because how I see, and with that story, is that, well, we didn't have the best behavior, but we were like a good class, like good students. My generation, I'm talking about my class, Laura's class.
Mhm.
Like that generation was pretty nice. I remember my sister's class. They were like, you know, a different generation, but it was different. But do you see the youngest generation that there was a change there? There was a like a little bit of difference, maybe.
Either rebellious, more, yeah.
I found that the first classes that I taught, including yours, they were always very respectful.
Mhm.
Okay, but okay, in the later generation, they were not always as respectful as you were.
I could see that happening 100%. It's generational for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, and then you cannot, you cannot touch them, you cannot do certain things because then the parents get involved that you touch my kid and this and this and that, right? So
That's
it was,
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
In nowadays, now it's in everything you do. If you treat someone, it could be considered racism. It could be considered,
Homophobia.
the Me Too movements, all of these movements that have, developed in the latest years. Because I remember when we were there, I mean, if you did something bad, the teacher at least was like, you sit down right now. I mean, it was normal. It was how you were raised. You were raised to respect your elders and respect your teachers, your parents. We weren't that rebellious, I think.
true. That's true.
And
Okay.
I don't have any trauma about it. Mr. Bouchard, we have some very fast questions just to end the show.
Mhm.
And I would like to start, Laura, if I can.
Mhm.
And are you like the America or you like Cali?
The soccer.
Soccer.
Oh,
You don't care.
I really about the local competitions, okay, the Colombian competition here in the country. I'm not really into that. Okay, but okay, I do follow the Colombian selection.
Good.
The Colombian team I follow.
Do you have the shirt?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, good.
I have.
Who's your favorite player from back in the day, or someone that you could right now remember?
I think I like Pibe.
El Pío Valderrama.
Valderrama.
Yeah, icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Bouchard, what's your favorite place in Colombia?
My favorite place in Colombia. Of the places that I have visited, I love Pasto. I love the mountains. I love, the quilt fields, the Nariñenses, where they cultivate their crops. Okay, I just find that fascinating.
Do you like aguardiente?
No,
Cool. And
No.
what's your what's a movie that you will recommend right now? Or a show, TV show? What are you watching?
no, I'm reading a lot. Okay.
What's your favorite book?
I don't watch very many movies. I don't watch any TV series. Okay. The books that I read are from an author, John Jakes.
Mhm.
Okay. And they're fictional history. Okay. They began before the American before the American Revolution, and they go up to about 1890.
Mhm.
And there's 8 books.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a show that always reminds me of you, and it's Nova, Carl Sagan's Nova. It's an old show and they did a remake, but that show always reminds me of you, and I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I can watch it over and over. I love that series.
Carl Sagan's Cosmos was excellent, excellent. I love that.
Yeah, correct. Mr. Bouchard, what made you smile today?
Remembering some of the people and the fun times that I had at Colegio Bolivar.
Fantastic. Now it's my turn. Mr. Bouchard, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Almost invariably, this may sound mundane, but go to the bathroom.
Yeah, me too.
And then I am the one that makes breakfast, and I generally serve my wife in bed.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Funny, amazing. Keep it up. Good.
Okay,
Perfect.
I like to cook. Okay, and people say that I'm a fair cook.
Do you like traveling in Colombia by car, or you someone that prefers moving in planes from one side to the other?
I like traveling in car. I have traveled from Cali. I've been down to Ecuador. I've been to Cartagena. I've been to Villavicencio, to Buenaventura.
Oh, you've traveled a lot.
So I have traveled. One of the places that I would like to explore a little bit more here in Colombia by car is Boyacá.
Boyacá. Beautiful. Next question. Did you learn to dance salsa?
Not very well.
Not very well.
I learned a little bit, but I never learned to dance very well.
Fantastic. Do you have any, say again? Sorry about that.
I am tronco.
Un tronco. Muy bien.
Like my husband.
Exactly. My next question, I had it here and I lost it. It's coming in a second, I'm sure. Are you a morning person, or are you somebody that likes to sleep, to go past your bedtime and more like a nocturnal owl?
I generally function better in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I reserve my evening for reading.
Mm-hmm. Good. Do you drink coffee or tea?
I am a coffee lover. I drink at least 4 cups of coffee a day.
Nice.
Who drinks tea? I mean, I drink tea, but who drinks tea? Nobody.
I don't know. I'm just trying to mix it up, Ivancho.
I'm just saying. No, because it's weird because
Yes,
in Colombia,
yeah, nobody drinks tea, especially in Colombia.
I do because I don't drink coffee, but yeah.
That's true.
Perfect. Oh my God, my memory today, Ivancho, can you please help me out with one until I remember which was what?
Well, we have the last questions that we always use in this show, and it's the 3 things you can't live without.
I can't live without the news.
Mhm.
I'm a newsy person. Okay. I can't live without my wife. She is there for me and with me and by me all the time.
It's been how many years together? A lot, right?
55,
God bless you.
55 years. Okay. The third having projects.
Find something to do. Very nice.
I always have projects, okay, that maybe they don't get done, but they're there on the burner.
That's good. That's good. So, you know, we love your family. I love them all. I know them all. Once in a while, I chat with Heidi, with Caroline, with Jennifer. I was so happy to see the other day at this in this show, Fanny, and I'm very happy to see you. And I hope I can see you guys like in person soon. And we're very, very grateful for all the teachings and your time at school. You did an excellent job. We remember you. You are an institution for the school, and I have to say this on behalf of everybody.
Yes, on behalf of every single class, Mr. Bouchard.
Yeah, you were amazing. It's incredible the memories that we have from you. I never had a bad experience or nothing like that. It was always incredible. It was a tough class. It was a tough teacher. It was everything but discipline, and was amazing with you. So I really thank you, and thank you for the time of Entre Amigos. This is the reason why we do this show, just to have, you know, a little time in our lives to say, to give back to you guys and say thank you, and to know what's happening with you guys, because we miss you. We miss that time at school differently.
It was the best time of our lives, for sure.
Thank you, both of you, Laura and Ivan. Okay, and this is an experience that I will never forget. Okay, and you are among the people, okay, that make Bolivar a great school. Okay.
I agree.
I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry.
And if you do come and make a reunion, okay, I'll be one of the first people to go.
Thank you very much. We'll make it happen. Yeah, this is a very emotional show for everybody. I think we have a lot of people writing to us that they have a lot of comments, and we appreciate, and whoever wants to join and help or wants to get interviewed, like, you're more than welcome. This is a show we do for you guys, and thank you for joining Entre Amigos.
Thank you very much.
We need to do our picture. It's like this one, because everybody is going to be so thrilled to see you. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Yay! Mr. Burchard, it was so nice to see you. We're so happy you're good and healthy.
1 second.
Yes.
I want to get a magazine.
Guess it?
I love how he had ayuda del público, Carolyn and I guess Fanny talking on the back like, Villavicencio, we've been there.
Oh, I don't find it.
What are you looking for? Kioscos?
No, I'm looking for Bolivar magazine, Tribuna.
Ah, Tribuna. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's Santa Claus.
You know, we didn't have Tribuna when we were there, Ivancho, right? That was something that started developing a couple of years after.
Yes, we didn't have that one. Okay. Nice. Very
Well,
cool.
you have your cover.
That's what I was looking for.
So, Mr. Bouchard, before we say goodbye now, don't forget to send us pictures if you have pictures from you from the time at school or not, and we'll be happy to put them at the end of this video to remember some moments in our lives. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Gracias a todos por joining us in Entre Amigos.
Thank you, everybody. Mr. Bouchard, this is Entre Amigos. It's always nice to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you very, very soon. And we'll see you guys also in our next show.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.